Hi, I'm Saahir, the Digital Accessibility Editor here at Strategic Arts Management. Welcome to part 2 of our video series about the simplest changes you can make to your content online in order to make it more accessible for everyone. Our first topic of interest is images. Images are pretty helpful at conveying information just because they're a lot more visual than blocks of text. It's sometimes just easier to show than it is to explain with words. But images aren't always available to everyone. Some users won't download images. Others just can't see the images well or at all. In these situations, it helps for the user to have text as a substitute, an alternative for the image. That's why it's important alt text is included with any image. Alt text is an alternative for the image. You shouldn't need both an image and its alt text at the same time to understand what's going on. Good alt text is short and only has relevant information, so it describes the image within the current context, but without going into unnecessary detail. If the image is just used for design, like as a background, it's a decorative image and doesn't need alt text. Like this logo over here. You don't need to know it's here to understand this page. On the other hand, if it conveys information that is not available anywhere else on the page, it desperately needs alt text. A good example would be images of text. A couple of things to note about alt text. You usually want to avoid starting with image of or picture showing or anything similar. Screen readers usually announce it when they're at an image, and it's a little inconvenient.
Graphic image of Cat McKeegan with a Sam poster. Graphic image of dishes of food along a table. Graphic image of dish of food and a Sam sign.
And finally, try not to include information irrelevant to the current context. Depending on how or where an image is used, it can have different alt text. I often find it easiest to improve alt text by just getting rid of extra descriptive detail about stuff in the background. If you're sharing an image online using pretty much anything, you're likely going to have the option to write alt text for it. Here are a few examples. Adding alt text to images on social media is just as important as adding it on your website. Here's how you add alt text using the big 3 platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. First up is Twitter. Now, here's how you add alt text to images on Facebook. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, since the platform is predominantly image-based, here's how you add alt text to images using Instagram. If you use a social media publishing tool like Hootsuite, Buffer, or Later to make posts across your social media platforms, a quick Google search will turn up lots of instructions on how to add alt text right in those platforms. In this video, we looked at alt text and how it's used to make images more accessible. In the next video, we're going to look at links and buttons and how they can be made to be more accessible. Thanks for watching.